Welcome, everybody, and I apologize to everybody for the delay in starting the MTA Bridges and Tunnels Committee meeting. First of all, I would like to thank Mitch Paley, who stood in so admirably for the last year and did such a terrific job, and for all of you committee members who have elected to re-up and to stick with the program. Because of the late starting time, a number of people have told me that they were unable to attend today, so don't think that we don't love and respect everybody on the staff, but it's just a very strange time, and we're going to do the best we can to change it in the future. Do we have any public speakers? Sure, they all got tired and went home. Do we have a motion to approve the last minutes of the Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, now known as the MTA Bridges and Tunnels Committee? All in favor? The minutes are approved. I now recognize our hardworking, extremely patient, dynamic, efficient, and up through the ranks acting President Jim Ferrara.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd like to update the committee on the toll booth removal project at the Verrazano Bridge. Work has begun on the elimination of the eastbound toll booths with a scheduled completion date of October 2011. There are no changes to the committee work plan this month. And we'll go forward with the report on operations.
Thank you, Jim. To be brief, traffic in February was 19.1 million crossings. It was down 10% versus February of 2009. Weather was the primary cause of the decline in traffic. This February, there were more than 28 inches of additional snow than there was in 2009. All traffic sectors, cash, E-Zpass, cars and trucks, all were down for the month. And that's my report.
Any questions for David? By the way, Tom Buck, our excellent chief engineer, is back, and we're glad that you're fully recovered and back on the job.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to see you back. Do you have anything else that you want to propose to this meeting, or should we just adjourn for dinner?
I'm buying.
Whoa! Oh, now we're talking.
I'll second.
I'll move quickly to the E-Zpass report and the financial reports. E-Zpass report begins on page 25. There's no major news this month. Our market share was 75.7% in February, about 2 percentage points higher than a year ago, and continues a trend that we've seen since last August following the July toll increase when E-Zpass market share began going up against the prior year. More than 8,000 E-Zpass accounts were opened in February, including more than 1,600 E-Zpass on-the-go accounts, which is approximately 20% of the total accounts opened for the month. And that concludes my E-Zpass report. I'll move on to the financial report if there's no questions.
You may proceed.
Okay, it begins on page 31. Toll revenue through the first 2 months is down about 3.3%, which is a reflection of the lower traffic we saw in February that Dave just spoke about. Total expenses year-to-date are about $1.7 million below budget, almost 3%. Our support to mass transit through February is about $1.7 million better than planned. And that concludes the financial report. I'll move on, if there's no questions, to the year-end operating report, which begins on page 41. A lot of this you may have heard over the last couple of months. But just to quickly summarize, our total non-reimbursable revenue in 2009 was $1.3458 billion, about $2.7 million higher than our final estimate. Our traffic totaled $291.3 million, 291.3 million vehicles in 2009, about 1.4% higher than the modified adopted budget, and about on target against the final forecast. And volume was higher, we believe, because there were actually fewer actual job losses compared to the regional employment forecast we used at the time, and also less severe traffic losses from the toll increase compared to historical elasticities. Expenses for the year were about $400 million, about $16.6 million below our final estimate, $25 million below our modified adopted budget. And the total support to mass transit was about $741.7 million, $43 million more than our final estimates, and about the same amount higher, $45 million better than our modified adopted budget.
This is the only committee I've ever sat on which reported a profit for the year of $741 million. And this is the only one in the MTA that has ever reported any profit that I have ever seen. And I think I've been on every other committee, so this is quite refreshing. So we certainly, we certainly congratulate you. Are you ready for, what, procurements?
Capital.
Moving to
Thomas?
the capital
Oh,
program.
sorry. Oh, I forgot about Tom. Go ahead.
We committed $17.7 million of work in March against a plan of $21 million. Sorry. And we were proud to get that project started. We fulfilled commitments we'd made to Staten Island and to the board about 5 years ago to get this job started up and running. There were no completions or closeouts in March. In the past month or two, we have been working actively with the MTA Real Estate Group to seek out some alternative options for a need of ours to relocate personnel from underneath our plaza at the RFK. MTA Real Estate has been unable to find an appropriate site for us to lease. They have also looked into the option of purchasing or leasing property off-site and engaging a third-party contractor to build for us. MTA Real Estate's analysis has indicated that that is not advantageous compared to our prior existing plan to build a pre-engineered, downsized building on Randall's Island in a project that we've called TB59. So our intention at this point in time is to go forward with our TB59 plan, which is currently included in our capital program. And that completes my report.
I'd like to congratulate you, Tom, for using the correct MTA speak language and calling the Triborough Bridge the RFK Bridge. Most people, of course, still refer to it as a Triborough Bridge and to the agency as a Triborough Bridge and Tunnel Authority, and some of them, I'm sure, think that Robert Moses is still running the place. You've got the language down correctly.
Thank you.
Your turn.
And last but not least, procurement. Tony?
Good afternoon. Thanks, Jim. There are 4 procurements this month totaling about $9.2 million. There are no non-competitive procurements. There are 3 competitive procurements. The first includes 4 personal service contracts with WSP Cells Transportation and Infrastructure, Trans Systems, HNTB New York Engineering and Architecture PC, and B&H Engineering PC to provide biennial bridge inspection and miscellaneous design services at the Robert F. Kennedy and Verrazano Narrows bridges. These inspections are required by the New York State Department of Transportation. The contract amounts are $2,737,667 for WSP Cells, $1,540,514 for Trans Systems, $2,915,647 for HNTB, and $1,093,349 for B&H Engineering, for a total amount of $8,287,177. Each contract is for a duration of 2 years. The next item is a modification to a personal service contract with Jacobs Civil Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $133,319 to provide additional design and construction support services for Project BB45. The supply fan replacement, switchgear replacement, and Manhattan Underground exhaust building fan upgrade and repairs at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. The third item is to exercise a 1-year option under our pricing agreement with Mark IV Industries, Inc. for E-Zpass tags, readers, and antennas to ensure uninterrupted service to customers while the E-Zpass Interagency Group completes selection of a new interoperable technology. There is one ratification. It is a modification to a public work contract with Conti of New York, LLC, in the amount of $733,000 for additional work under contract BW89, which is replacement of the Bronx Approach and miscellaneous repairs to the Queens Approach at the Bronx Whitestone Bridge. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions on any of those procurements? Well, I'll move the items. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? The procurements are adopted. Do you have anything else to add?
Want me to just take 2 words on the capital program? Just going to the board.
Capital program.
Right, it's the little handout. I won't go through the whole presentation at this point. But obviously, if you have any questions between now and Wednesday, we can answer them. Just quickly on the bottom line, the program that we're proposing that will be going to the board on Wednesday is about $55 million less than the program that was approved last fall. We went through the best value analysis that the chairman directed all the agencies to do. We moved some projects out of the program. We rescoped a bunch of projects. We also, with that analysis, we were also able to move a significant amount of our painting work from the operating into the capital budget. So it's a win-win situation. We saved about $55 million, as I said, on the capital side, and about $160 million on the operating side by moving the painting in. So, and that $160 million will be reflected in the July financial plan.
We were all very impressed with the amounts of cuts that you were able to effectuate with really very little effect on the agency. And I know the chairman is absolutely delighted by what you have done, and I know it wasn't easy. And you're over there changing some long-held attitudes and some ancient ways of doing business, and we're all very proud of what you've accomplished here. You make the committee look good, you guys, and we're all very proud of what you've done, each and every one of you. If there is any other questions or any other business to come before the meeting, I will move that we adjourn because the Diversity Committee wants to come back for a couple hours. I consider that an affirmative vote to adjourn.
The bus committee
Thank you.
lasts a half hour, and there's, I believe in diversity, but they've got to condense it.